Hello. So this evening I decided to visit Baythale Farm, and Ruth is going to take us through the projects. So many people have been asking me about goat farming, and this is the opportunity for you to learn and put it into practice. Thank you. Ruth is going to introduce herself, and then we will walk through the projects.
Hello everyone, my name is Ruth Nagasha. I'm the CEO stroke founder of Baythale Farm. Baythale Farm, we are the breeders of Savannah and local Murende goats, crossbreed, and soon we are bringing in the Boer goats. Basically, we started in 2021 March, started with 20 goats. So far we have 75 goats. And
Wow.
it's been a journey. It's been a journey of challenges and profits. All I can say, it's been a very good and interesting journey.
I can't wait to hear this journey as we move around, seeing the goats, and getting to learn a lot from you.
Yeah, sure you will. Yeah, no,
Now, these are the goats. So, Ruth, come and take us through. We want to know how you started, how many were they, how many are they right now.
So, like I told you, we started with 20 goats. That was 2021, around March. When we started, I wasn't alone. I had colleagues who were helping me. This goat thing, it's a passion for me that I had for a long time. Not only goats, but actually animals. But I was looking forward one day to fulfill my dream, at least to start with the goats. Then I'll continue and start with and move on to another project that I'm soon starting, which is cows. Yeah.
Wow.
But when I started the goats, it was a big step for me, a very good step. So I had, first of all, I got the capital that I needed. Then we constructed the house, as you can see. Then after
Hey, let's first look
constructing
at the house, by the way. Let's first look at the house.
yeah, that's the house. Maybe we'll enter inside. I'll show you.
Okay, we will go inside and we have a look.
That's the exercise area. Then there is the inside part. Then there's also a kids room where
We will get in.
Yes. Yeah. So we constructed the house. Then after constructing the house, we bought the goats, our first stock. And the time we bought it, it was around March or April. Then after after buying them, then there was this plague called the foot and mouth disease. And normally when it hits the animals or the farmers, the government normally puts a quarantine. So it went on for almost a year.
What?
Yeah. And it was a blessing in disguise, because at that time, as much as I was doing my research, I was not on the pressure of putting all my knowledge into the practicals.
Yes,
So
yes.
where we bought the goats, our friend actually took care of our goats. Yeah, so that was in Sembabule, the Antonde side.
You said how many were they?
There were 20.
Okay.
Yeah, some were pregnant and others were just young ones. Actually, but we bought 20, then we bought the back.
Okay.
You see it. That back, the time we bought it, it was young, but actually it was able to function, to do its duties, but it was still young. So they remained at our friend's farm for about 8 months, if not even 9 or 10, until they removed the lockdown, the quarantine, and then we had to transport them here. That was in November 2021.
Okay.
Yeah. So when we transported them, they came when they were 43. Can you imagine?
From 20,
Yes, from
they were
20,
already
by the time we
43.
transported them this side, they were 43.
Wow.
Yes, and they were healthy. They were looking good. So
They are really
challenge
looking
came where-
good. I'm seeing
Yeah,
they are
they
really,
eat
really,
well.
really.
They eat well. And goats, what they do during the rainy season, it's not like us people or other animals. Goats during the rainy season, actually, they don't look as healthy as how they look when it's a dry season. They look way healthier in a dry season than because they don't the whole thing of the water and what it affects them. They get cough, they get flu, they get diseases. Yeah, so they look way better in the dry season. So this is their time to shine.
Wow, they are really looking good. So
Yes.
what do you feed them on?
As you can see right now, they're eating banana peelings.
Yes.
They like them.
Hey.
I don't
I
know.
see you've mixed something
Yeah,
in there.
we mix them with salt.
Yes.
We get banana peelings, we mix it with salt.
Yes.
Then they actually don't like eating it from containers and what. That's why they just display them on grass. And most times I discourage the workers from giving them in the containers because sometimes their containers can be dirty and old things and what. So when you display them on the grass, they like it because as they're eating the banana peelings, they're even eating the grass. So they enjoy it and they enjoy the salt as well.
Wow. So do you feed them on only the banana peelings?
No, we feed them on banana peel. This is just like a snack, an evening
Okay,
snack
okay.
they normally have. But we have some grass called, I planted it, it's called alfalfa. Many people know it as napier grass. Then we have also, I planted bracharia. It's called bracharia molato. It's a very good and nutritious feed for people, for the farmers. They know it's very nutritious for animals. Yeah, and mostly when you're feeding it also to, now I'm speaking to people who have like cows and what, it's good for dairy, for people who are into dairy. It's very good. Yeah, I have about an acre down there for bracharia.
An acre?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, then I have half an acre of alfalfa, napier grass. So also what I do is now during the dry season, like now, I normally keep these these goats. They came when they didn't know how to feed on dry matter like hay and what, because they are free range goats.
Oh.
Yeah, but when one day I introduced silage and they didn't like it. When I brought them from the other side and I transported them, I introduced them to silage because I wanted them to feed on real nutrition and look healthy. But because they were on free range, they were not, it was not easy for them to divert and now do like silage and hay. So the only way I could introduce silage to them was now to start with something like this, like the banana peeling.
Yeah,
and what.
yeah.
Then from there you give them the normal napier grass as it comes, when it's still raw, like when you just cut it. The guy is bringing it to tie it for them in the evening. Then also around their house they eat. Then from there, I realized now they were starting to get used to it.
Okay.
And I would give them now, even the ones which are dry. Now the ones which are dry, how I give it to them, I normally mix it in some it's called molasses. Yeah. Some people they mix microbes and what. Me, I use molasses. Molasses is the sugar, that sugar remains that it's like a syrup. You pour it in their feeds or in that dry matter, and it makes it palatable for the animals. They like it. Yeah. So
now
that's how I feed them. Apart from that, they do the free range.
Oh,
yeah.
Well done, really. They are looking really, really good.
Thank
and
you.
healthy.
Thank you.
So we are going to enter inside. We want to see how the inside of the house looks like.
Okay. So this is the goat house. As you see. This is their exercising area.
Exercising area.
It's a very spacious place. Although, as you can see, actually during the dry season like now, they actually sleep around. They just sleep here because normally goats, they don't mind whether it's an enclosed place like this or it's here, as long as it's not raining. This one, they only use it when it's raining. But most of the times they normally sleep here.
Okay, let's walk inside and we see.
As you can see, this is a very rocky place.
Yeah.
As much as they like the rocks and what, they like climbing normally. But, this is a challenge that there are many stones. Sometimes it's a challenge to the worker who is sweeping and cleaning
Oh,
it. Yes.
yeah.
Also a challenge to the goats because they hurt themselves sometimes. And also it keeps dirt. Yeah, sometimes it keeps dirt, and yeah, it might affect them one or the other.
But
They
it's
get
really
sick.
clean.
Yeah, the worker is doing a good job.
Okay.
Yeah. So this is their other place where they sleep.
Okay.
As you can see, it's actually not as worked out as outside there because they rarely sleep in here.
Okay.
They only use this when it's actually a wet
Rain.
season.
Okay. Okay. When it's raining.
Yes. Then this is the small enclosed
This one,
space
the
here,
small one.
it's for the kids.
Oh, the young
Yes,
ones.
the young ones. This is where they sleep. In the future, we are planning on giving them a raised place so that they don't have to sleep down because they are easily affected by fleas and also the ammonia from their urine and their droppings. It affects young ones. So this is what I started with, but very soon we are planning on raising their house so that they don't sleep on the ground.
To tell you the truth, I'm inspired. And I know you're going to inspire very many. Very, very many.
I pray, because farming is actually, goat farming is a very profitable business. And what I can tell upcoming farmers, why I'm actually sharing this video is, so I'm telling the farmers, upcoming farmers who are interested in doing goat business, research is very key.
Research?
Yes. Don't rush into doing something without researching about it, especially when you know you're going into it alone and you don't have any other person who has more knowledge about it, and you're going in alone. First of all, this goats thing, it needs you to have passion for it, passion for animals, because with its challenges, if you're not focused on what you actually want or what you like, you might end up in the long run deciding to do something else, and it will waste your money. You will just waste your money. So you need to have to do research. That's number one. Number two, you need to have passion for it, especially for the animals. These animals, for the 2 years I've been with them, I've faced all the challenges. I'll tell you all the challenges, but the good thing is when you start with the small number like I started with, it gives you room for the mistakes, to know what you're not going to repeat, to know where you can do better, all those things. And actually that's what I've been going through. So
what are some of the challenges you faced?
Some of the challenges I'm going to tell you is when you, like I had told you earlier, when they were at my friend's farm, that's in Zimbabwe, they came back when they were 43. And this is someone who has done farming for a while, and they had their own goats and everything. So me, when they came here, it's like now I was putting my research and my knowledge, theory, into practical. So it was quite some good challenge, because that's when I started realizing, this goat is sick. And you're bizarre, wondering, okay, what should I do? Then you run to call the vet. And vets, I don't know people who trust vets, but actually I've had issues with vets. And this is to also the young farmers, don't trust vets. Get one vet whom you know you can trust. And also don't rely on vets, because do your own research. Like I told you, do your own research. You will not regret it. If it means reading, there's a lot of data on Google. Me, that's all I use. There are books, there are everything about farming, about nutrition, about animal husbandry and everything. And that's what I use. So it has given me, like I told you, we're still talking about the challenges. So when they came here, now that's when I started seeing goats getting sick, and I'm wondering, okay, why is this one getting sick? They are getting flu. Some died recently. Last year I lost about 20 goats because I lost I lost kids. I lost 15 goats. Then young ones, I lost 15. Then I also lost the old ones. I lost about 5. yeah, in just 1 year, actually in a space of like 2 months, because they had gotten some disease called PPR. And PPR, when it's not vaccinated, it can actually clear your whole entire farm. And it did that for some other farms I know around, where it actually, someone was left with, had like 100 goats, and they were left with like 10 goats, and they just had to sell them just to, yeah. So also about the other challenge I got, like I told you, the diseases, that was number one. So figuring out what disease, what can you use to treat this one, what can you use to, that was a whole. Then bringing in fake doctors, fake veterinary doctors that actually just come to cheat and move on with like, yeah, and never come back. That was quite also another challenge that I faced. I faced that for some time, until now I decided actually I don't have to rely on these guys. If it means knowing that if a disease is having this and this issue, let's say like flu or this normal cough or anything, I know the medicine I can call for. Or if it's not that, if it's another challenge that I'm not sure about, then now I can include in my veterinary. I can call my vet, and he comes and he checks it, and then he finds. Then another thing, I realized also it was about the whole thing of not vaccinating. Yes, I wasn't sure of when to vaccinate, when not to vaccinate, which vaccination to give at what time, and what, all those were challenges that I actually kept on learning as time went by. Then the deaths, of course, like I told you, there were many deaths that happened. That was last year. So also how to go about that, it was a bit of a big problem of now you see, especially when you're a farmer and you're losing kids. Goat farming, multiplication always comes with, like, it has to be kids. So when you're having issues with kids, like they are dying, that means you're not multiplying. So that was also quite a challenge. Then another one was inbreeding. I want to talk about inbreeding.
Okay.
Inbreeding, this is where you get one buck, and it does its job. It mates around with the does, and then after, now the does, what they had given birth to, it mates on the daughters and the, yes, or even the one of these other young bucks also, it starts climbing the mothers and the what, that is inbreeding. And yes, it also, the problem with that, it gives you very weak genetics, and then you find your goats very small. I think I don't have any right now, but at some point I had very weak genetics of you find a kid that is very small, and it's small. Meanwhile, these savannah goats, when it's around 50% and plus, it's supposed to be a very healthy big goat. But when it gives birth and it's a very small kid, you know that's a very weak gene. Like, that's a very weak gene. It's because of the inbreeding, and also it multiplies diseases. It causes a lot of diseases in goats and what. Yes, also the mortality rate, it increases the mortality rate.
Wow, so much to learn.
Yes.
So Ruth,
Yes.
you've really inspired me, and I know so many people are going to be inspired, actually not only in Uganda, by the way, but also outside Uganda, and all over the world. So what advice do you have for everyone who is going to watch this video?
Okay, like I told you, I think I mentioned it in a few minutes back. I told you, young upcoming farmers, this is to you. Goat farming, it's, first of all, it's not supposed to be a whole prestige thing of, I know most people in our community, they use animals as just a prestige. They don't look forward to a way of making money out of them. They love animals, yes, especially cows, but they don't research to find a way of how can this, what I love, profit me. How can I get money out of it? And that's how it's supposed to be. So young upcoming farmers, goat farming is not first of all, it's not supposed to be just a prestige thing of having, let's say, 100 goats on your doorstep just to look at them. And whenever you feel like you have a visitor, that's when you realize you have goats and you can slaughter one for your visitor. It's not supposed to be that way. Goat farming, first of all, it's a very profitable business. That's all I can say. Then also, if you're not passionate, like I said, about goats, don't go there, because you're going to waste your money. Yeah. And because you will face challenges and you feel like it's frustrating. So then another challenge, another advice I can give them is, don't be a telephone farmer.
Yeah.
Yes, don't be a telephone farmer. I was there last year when I lost about those goats. I had other challenges or engagements, so it made me not come to my, these days I visit my farm every month. But those days, last year and other months, I would even take 3-4 months. Yes, and I would just call and I got so okay, what? And right now we are operating under family land, but for someone out there where you have your land and you get your workers and you put them there, they'll call you and tell you, this kid has just died. This goat gave birth to 2 kids and they all died. Or they tell you, this kid is not okay. Tomorrow they will tell you it died. And you're not sure whether they are telling you the truth.
Yeah.
They are selling your goats. They are not taking care of them, because no one will ever take care of your own business or your own thing the way you will take care of it. So you have to be on ground, especially for the animals, for the goats. I don't know about other businesses, maybe you can do a telephone thing, but for animals, especially for goats, it does not work. It can't work, and you need to be on ground. You need to visit your farm. You need to know what is taking place. That's why I told you, don't rely on vets. If it means researching and knowing which drug can work for your goats, do it. Yes, I reached at a point where I realized, if you call your vet who you're relying on and doesn't come, will your goat die because you don't have a goat? So sorry, you don't have a vet, or a vet is not available. So actually, I learned recently how to inject animals.
Wow.
Something that I didn't know, but I realized I can't rely on a vet. I have to learn these things myself, so that when I'm there and there is no anyone else to help me, I can chip in for myself and say, okay, let me just treat these kids without anyone. Yes. So get land if you have an opportunity to have a family land, like how I got an opportunity. Start from there. You don't need to first have your land. Start with what you have. Don't waste a lot of money on building or constructing a house. As you can see, okay, I might think I made a mistake actually constructing this house, because I feel like I would have started with a much cheaper thing. Yes. So don't put your all money in constructing a house. You can start with a house of as low as 2 million. Yes, and then you put your goats. You can start with 20 goats, with 30 goats. It depends on how much money you have. But also, what I said, don't start with 100 goats. Like I said earlier, don't start with 100 goats when you actually you're not sure of when you've never done this, because it will waste you a lot of money. Like, give room for mistakes. Start with 20. When you start with 20, it will give you, if you're to lose, you will not lose 100 million, you will not lose 50 million. You will make losses of more money, but not as much as it would cost you when you started with 100 goats.
Okay. Thank you so much for the advice, and I really appreciate so much, and I know everyone who will watch this video, they will really appreciate and be happy and learn something. Is this the inside? So this is the grass you talked about. Hey.
Yes. You see how they are following me?
They are coming.
Like this grass from
So you tie them.
I tie them Which man normally tries to stop me, he knows how to tie them. You tie them, then they eat. So this stays in the night, even in the night they
Oh, they eat.
Yes.
Wow.
So that by the morning, we normally release them at around 11 or midday.
Oh.
So that by that time they are not very hungry. They have something to feed on.
Okay.
As you can see, first see how these guys look like this. They like the...
And they are 75.
Yes. Yes. So that is the napier grass I was telling you. Yes. So the other thing I wanted to tell you about, especially the young farmers like me who are starting, please make sure you don't do inbreeding. Like I told you, when you had one back for like a year, change it. You can exchange with a fellow farmer, or you can exchange it, then bring in another one. And then also what I wanted to say is don't be a single farmer. Farmers out there like I am right now, I need people to come to my farm. I need people, fellow farmers, to come up and we do this together, because like I told you, farming or goat farming is a very profitable business, and it's only profitable when you're many. When you do it many, but as one.
Exactly.
Yes, and you come, when we have 1,000 goats here, you have no idea the market out there that we can get.
True.
But right now I can't satisfy even a quarter of the market that is out there. So I normally sell to small scale butchers around, butcheries. Then also I sell to upcoming farmers, actually breeders who are starting to get goats.
Ruth, if someone wants to get in touch with you, how do we do that?
Okay, we have social media platforms. We have on YouTube, Baythale Farm. Baythale is Baythale. Baythale Farm. Then my numbers, you'll share my numbers. Then maybe I can say 0774 747197, and also Airtel 0707 019 077. Those are my numbers. Then you can also follow us on Facebook, Baythale Farm.
Wow, wow, wow. I would like to thank Ruth for giving us an opportunity to come and visit her farm, and being selfless, really, taking us through her farm, sharing the knowledge, and I believe it's going to benefit all of us who are going to watch this video or who are watching me. And remember, we are saying no to idle land. She has said for her she's using family land. I know most of us who run away from it, you know, there is land at home, back at home, and it's idle. So this is one way you can make good use of that idle land. Thank you, Ruth, once again for giving us the opportunity and welcoming us to your farm. Bye.